Hello, everyone. This is Kathy, your psychic healer, and I'm here today to tell you all about Aquarius. And even if your sun sign is not Aquarius, it doesn't matter because in your God contract, somewhere is the sign of Aquarius. All 12 signs that make up your personality and your life goals are found in your God contract. So Aquarius is somewhere in your God contract. And if you need to get yours, or if you don't have one yet, just go to my website, agodlypsychic.com, and click on the services tab, and it'll take you to where you can order it. Okay, so one of the things that I really want to explain clearly is your God contract natal chart. Hi, Gail Robinson. Glad you're here. Okay, so this is a diagram of what it looks like, kind of. You'll see this circle has 12 slices of pie. Now, each of those stand for 12 different areas of your life. Everybody has them. We all came in to learn certain things about their God contract and to remember it. Your soul got together with God before you were born, and God said, what do you want to learn? What do you want to contribute to life? And so you made an agreement, and if you want to remember those, if you don't automatically remember what that was, and most of us don't, then you look at your God contract. Now, the first house, whoops, there you go. The first house has to do with your learned personality. If you have Aquarius there, what that means is somebody taught you to be more Aquarian than whatever your sun sign is. If your sun sign is Aquarius and you have Aquarius in the first house, then you were likely taught everything that relates to the Aquarius life goals. And that would be change. God doesn't send an Aquarian into your family or into your love life or into your friendships or into your workplace if change isn't needed. And it's really hard sometimes for an Aquarian to be the only one that wants change. And one of the downsides of Aquarius is, and I'm an Aquarius, so I can say this with some authority, one of the downsides of Aquarius is that we change things just to be jerks. Not because anything needs changing, but because we want to liven things up. We want to see what, throw it against the wall and see what sticks. That's the downside of Aquarius in the first house. If it's in the second house, let me show you again. On your chart, see where it says number 2? That's the second house, and that represents money. And if you have Aquarius in the second house, then that means that hi, Louisa, nice to see you. If you have Aquarius in the second house, that means that your money's going to come in really unusual ways. Aquarius is a fixed sign, and although money is not the most important thing in life, we all know we've got to have money or we're living under a bridge. So if you've got Aquarius there, you are likely earning your money in Aquarian ways, which has to do with computers, helping mankind, being a benefit to people on a human level. Aquarians love people, and they love having enough money not to live under the bridge. Although, contrary Aquarians, you'll often find living under a bridge because they don't want to follow the rules, and so a bridge looks pretty good to them. But if you want to look at your God contract and see where Aquarius is and ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to give you an explanation for that. If you have Aquarius in the third house, this has to do with being a person of change regarding communication. Now, if you communicate with somebody, you hope to be able to understand each other. You want to be able to say, is this what you're asking me? Is this what you're telling me? Yes, I understand. We all want to be understood, and we want to be able to understand others. If you have Aquarius there, chances are you're running into a lot of people whose communication style is not effective. If you're communicating to sell something and you're not communicating well, and you have Aquarius in your third house, you are likely going to be the person to tell someone they're not communicating very well, and here's what would help. Now, not everyone takes kindly to Aquarius changes. And I'll give you an example with this. Hi, Kira. Hi, honey, from Switzerland. How do we find out what house is the strongest? Gail Robinson wants to know. It's where the sun sign is. That's really your big life mission, and everything else is a contributing factor toward that. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I'm an Aquarian. I communicated something to my granddaughter about her drinking, because on both sides of her family, her grandparents' family, not her father's family, but on both sides of her grandparents, we have a big, huge history of alcoholism. Well, she went to Mexico for her birthday. She's in her late 20s, and she got rip-roaring drunk, even though she knows that we have this condition inherent in our family. And I spoke up. I'm an Aquarius. I'm supposed to speak up. I'm supposed to tell the truth. So I did. And you can't imagine how many people I pissed off doing this. Not everybody wants the truth. Not everybody's prepared to wake up. So if you have Aquarius in the third house, be prepared for that. Aquarius in the fourth house, let me show you where that is. You can look on your chart. See where number 4 is? You would have Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius showing up right on that line. That because we read it counterclockwise. So if you have Aquarius in the fourth house, what that means is you come from a family, because the fourth house has to do with the family you grew up in, which was a little odd, a little different. You didn't follow all the rules. Maybe you came from a family of protesters out on the streets. It's possible you came from a very scientific family, somebody who's very interested in knowing the inner psyche of how people behave. That's very Aquarian. And so the fourth house with Aquarius there means that science and people and understanding why people do what they do is part of your life's work. It's part of your God contract, and chances are good you can start with your family by analyzing them. Okay, fifth house. Let me show you again. See where the 5 is? Let me put my finger there and see this line between 4 and 5. You'll see Aquarius right there. If you have it in the 5th house, this has to do with children. This also has to do with your creative ability. Now, Kira, who has logged on for this broadcast, is an artist. I don't know what she has on her 5th house, but she is a very unusual artist. Her artistry is out of the mainstream. It's different from what you would see at an art gallery. She's very different in her artistic styles. Very, very much an example of someone who has Aquarius on the 5th house. This is also somebody, if you have Aquarius there, who has brilliant children. Very smart, very knowledgeable children who maybe are called daydreamers. At school, they're looking out the window and they're thinking and they're inventing and they're finding things that are new that maybe nobody's ever seen before. That would be a 5th house Aquarius. Okay, 6th house Aquarius. See the line between the 5 and the 6? Look on your chart, and that is where you would find Aquarius if health is one of your primary life's work. In order to take care of your health in unusual ways, this would be somebody who does not go for normal, traditional health methodology. This is somebody who says, maybe if I changed my diet to all organic and non-GMO foods, I could fix whatever is wrong with my health. This is somebody who goes outside of the mainstream in order to correct their health. Okay, 7th house. You would find, if you find Aquarius on this line right here between the 6th and the 7th, 7th house Aquarius, this is your long-term commitments. This is who you marry. This is who you have for a business partner. And part of your life's work with Aquarius in the 7th house is that you would choose someone to be your business partner or your love partner who's bright, intelligent, can carry on a conversation, is interested in everything, no downtime in your house. This would be you and your partner talking about world events, about mini homes for the homeless veterans. It would be really interesting, unusual solutions to world problems in your business partner or in your marriage partner or your long-term relationship partnership. Now, if you wanted to know what kind of a person you would choose who might be a lover but not commitment oriented, you'd go to the 5th house. But 7th house is a commitment. It's a business arrangement with all the legal documents. It is a marriage license. These are committed relationships. Okay, that's Aquarius on the 7th house. Here we go. Okay, this whole wheel is your God contract, and each of the houses stand for a different area of your life. The 8th house, see it right there? If you have Aquarius on the 8th house, this would be someone who, the 8th house has to do with death and dying and what our beliefs are about it. This would be somebody who probably believes in reincarnation, does not follow the mainstream thought process about death and dying. It is not necessarily where you die or how you die, but your thought process and your beliefs about death and dying. With Aquarius there, that sign tends to be very intuitive and psychic. You may also have a lot of experiences with ghosts or poltergeists or unusual communication with people who have passed. Okay, 9th house Aquarius. I know you probably know where this is by now. Let's see where the 9th house is. If you have Aquarius up there, which I do, what that means is that you have an unusual, unique slant to religion. The 9th house is about religion. This is organized religion. This is traditional religion. When you have Aquarius there, you tend to have a life and a God contract where you are trying to pull in the best that each traditional religion has to offer. And even beliefs that might not be traditional. They may have been traditional centuries ago, like nature or spells or herbs or whatever. But if you've got the ninth house, if your ninth house has Aquarius up there, what that means is that you look to a God of your own understanding, and chances are good it's pieces from many traditions. Very rarely does someone have Aquarius in the ninth house who is a staunch supporter of one religion. Okay, 10th house. Way up at the top. This is your professional house, your career, your reputation. And if you have Aquarius up there, chances are really good that whatever career you choose, it is not going to be mainstream. As an Aquarius, I have Aquarius in the ninth house and the 10th house, and I also have Pisces up in the 10th house. There's a combination up there. And if you look at your God contract, you'll see if you have any combinations like that. But as an Aquarian, with Aquarius up there in the 10th house, my work, my profession is very out of the ordinary. There aren't a lot of psychics out there in the mainstream. We tend to be on the peripheral. And people who have Aquarius up on the 10th house have probably taken a lot of crap from people who don't believe the same way you do, who don't practice the same kind of work that you do. And I'll give you an example. I had a very traditional cousin, and he gave me hell for being an astrologer and a psychic. He said that's not God's work, although he never bothered to mention all of the prophets that were in the Bible, the 3 wise men who were astrologers that prevented Herod from getting to the baby Jesus. And so there are a lot of people out there with a lot of opinions about what's normal, what's right, and what's acceptable. If you've got Aquarius up there in the 10th house, chances are you're doing work that is not acceptable by the mainstream. Okay, let me show you where the 11th house is. Hi, Anna. Hello, welcome. And look on your God contract, your astrology chart, and we're talking right now about the 11th house. Okay, this is the place where you look at your goals and your dreams and your wishes, and if I could do or have anything in the world, what would it be? If God was a fairy godmother that gave the little wand a tap and I suddenly had everything I wanted, what would it be? If you've got 11th house Aquarius, it means that probably what you're hoping for is an ability for those who are the underdogs to be taken care of, for people to care about someone who's homeless, someone who is in a health crisis, someone who's going through a divorce. An 11th house Aquarian wants what's good and best for the whole, not the individual. Okay. 12th house, last house. There's only 12 houses in your God chart, and you can see how each of the houses stand for one part of your life purpose. Here we go. 12th house, see it over there? It's between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock if this were a clock. Hold on, let me get my finger over there. There is your 12th house. Now this is the place of secrets. It's the stuff that people have kept from you, such as an adoption. It's the stuff where you might have a history with drug abuse, alcohol abuse, prison, and you just assume people don't know. This is where you've made some mistakes and you are trying to overcome those mistakes and not repeat them. If you have Aquarius in the 12th house, you also have friends who can confide in you. Now, Aquarians normally were yakkers, and secrets don't mean much, because if what you're telling me could help somebody else, of course I have to tell people, because your solution could be the very solution they're looking for. So if you've got Aquarius on the 12th house, you might not be very good with secrets, and you may have a lot of friends who have confided in you their secrets, because Aquarius rules friendship and the 12th house rules secrets. And so the two together may mean a life's purpose of you helping friends with their deepest, darkest secrets. Be sure that you ask permission to share that information with other people, that it can help. And you might have to share that information leaving that person's name out. But this Aquarians are solutions oriented. So wherever you find Aquarius in your God contract is where you are helpful and solutions oriented, and you tell the truth, and you care about lots of people. You're not somebody who says, well, what's best for this person over here should be best for everybody. Your thought process and your life's work and your goal is what's best for the majority. Okay, if you have any questions about Aquarius, please ask them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. If you know where Aquarius is in your God contract and you would like a further explanation, just ask me in your questions. Okay, Kira, McKenna, I don't have a chart either, but this is really fascinating. Thank you, Kira. What that means, this God contract thing, is that you're here for a reason. Yes, we have problems. We have drug addictions. We have alcohol. We have abandonment. We have abuse. There's all kinds of stuff in the world, but we're still here to do something that contributes. And God gave us the ability to contribute. So even though you don't have your chart, you can order it if you want to. It's on my website, agodlypsychic.com, on the services tab. And you'll get the whole, let me show you. You'll get the whole chart with all the houses and the explanations. Whoops, there we go. You'll get all of the planets and what each of them mean in your life purpose based on where they're found in the God contract. And see all the signs there on the side? There's 12 signs. You may be an Aquarian, but you're also the 11 other signs. And wherever your sun is, that is the most important thing. When you left heaven to come to earth, you and God together said, whatever you do, learn this, where your sun sign is. Be sure if you learn nothing else, you learn this. So, okay. Kira, is a digital version available, Kathy? If you mean your God contract, yes, it's emailed to you. It is digital. Anna, I'm a Taurus, so I don't know what my 11th house is. Okay. You may have joined us late, Anna, and so part of what we're doing here today is explaining Aquarius through all the 12 houses. And somewhere, Anna, in your God contract is the sign of Aquarius. And if you want to know part of 1/12 of your life purpose, you go find Aquarius in your God contract, and the explanation will show you part of the reason you were born and what you're trying to accomplish. Awesome, thanks. Oh, you're welcome, Kira. Okay, my darlings, if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to close this. And I am going to be making a video every day about one of the signs. And if you have your God contract, you'll understand a deeper meaning to your life purpose if you have that when you are live with me on these broadcasts. So I thank you for joining me. So Aquarius in the 5th house means being an artist. Almost, Kira. The 5th house means being an artist. You're a creator of some kind, usually in art or music or dance, something like that. But if you have Aquarius there, your style, Aquarius is your style, is very unusual, very different. Now, if you had Capricorn in the 5th house, you would be a traditional artist. You would draw mountains, you would draw cows on the mountains and the sun coming up. That's a very traditional style of artistry. But if you've got Aquarius there, it's different. You're using different tools. You're using different, what would the word be? Instead of clay, you're using cement. Instead of paint, you're using food dye. It's just a style of artistry. And because, Kira, you are an artist, I would definitely look at your 5th house and see what type of artistry you came in to learn and to give to the world. Now, I'll also be doing videos about the planets, and each of the planets have a style to offer. If it's the sun, it's big. If it's the moon, it's more quiet and feminine. If it's Mercury, you're going to be talking about it. If it's Venus, it's something else. So there's so much to learn about why you are here. But 5th house is your artistry, your creativity. And if you have Aquarius there, it's your style of artistry. So much to learn. I draw dragons and sculpt monsters. You're a great artist, Kira. Thank you, Kathy. I feel this is going to be important for me. All right, honeys. I'm very glad that you joined me. And if you're joining late and we're no longer live, be on the lookout. I will be doing more videos about every single sign. And whatever your sun sign is, remember, you're also part Aquarian. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye. Thank you for liking, following, subscribing, and commenting. And most of all, I thank God that He blesses your life mightily. Love you.